Hey guys, what is going on? So I just wanted to update on kind of what my bulking has been like. I haven't really provided any updates just because not a lot of exciting things have been happening. I have not been able to really progress in weight. So there's nothing for me to really talk about there just because I just recently added more weights. Where now I have 350 pounds, which is past my max. So I actually am going to be able to do some more strength oriented stuff. But so far this winter, I have been doing pretty much strictly bodybuilding type stuff. So I'm doing, a push day and a pull day. And it's not necessarily like one day I do a push day, then I do a pull day. Sometimes I'll do, mix them around, have different rest days. There's no real structure there, but there is a dedicated push and a dedicated pull day, and I don't really mix them. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Lower body is something I'm going to focus on more in the spring, specifically deadlifts, but for now it's upper body, and it's mostly just kind of trying to build muscle, a little bit more aesthetic based as opposed to strength based, but I am really just trying to bring my bench press up. That's going to be one of my primary goals. And I'm not sure if I talked about this in the past, but my shoulders were really kind of overtaking my bench press, which is something that I did when I was a lot younger. And so that's why I didn't do any shoulder exercises for years, is because my shoulders just tended to dominate the movement. And I basically got really strong in my shoulders again this summer. And so when I would do bench press, my shoulders would just get super fatigued. So I'm eliminating shoulder training for the time being and just focusing on, if the shoulders get activated in the bench press, so be it, but I'm not going to do any overhead pressing. So that's an exercise that I love that I want to continue to do, but for the time being, I'm just focusing on bench press for push, and then I'm doing chin-ups for my pull days. So chin-ups, I have found that there's not really a super effective way with the setup that I have to do a weighted chin-up or weighted pull-up or whatever it may be. So instead, I'm just doing many reps, or I guess just a lot of reps over a period of sets. So for example, I just finished my workout. I did 9 sets of 9 with the pull-ups, and that was my entire workout. So it's pretty good volume on the pull-ups, but I'm not really doing a variety of exercises there just because I don't really like doing rows or anything like that. And I would do weighted chin-ups if it was easier to do here, but it's just not something I can really do with my current setup. So I'm cool with that. I know people who have gotten great results doing higher volume or just in general a lot of chin-ups / pull-ups with body weight. And considering I am a pretty heavy guy, I think it's something that I can take advantage of, especially considering my back is probably my weakest point right now. So that's what I'm doing for my pull day. And then my push day, I've basically just been doing bodybuilding style training, except for the last week. I actually got more weights. Now I have about 350 pounds, which is more than my max. And so I'm able to do higher intensity stuff. So that's what I've been doing the past week, but now I'm planning to go back to bodybuilding and just kind of alternate them. Just focus primarily on bodybuilding, but then do a little bit of strength work as well, just because I think my numbers have gone down just because I haven't been doing anything with any high amount of weight recently. So what I've done the past week in terms of just strength stuff is I was doing basically as many reps as I could with about 300 pounds, 315. And I noticed that I had 315 on the bar and it was pretty difficult. So maybe I could do 320, 325, I don't know. But my former max, and I have it on video, is 335. I did that at a lighter body weight than I am now. And it was pretty easy. I tried to then get 345 after that, couldn't get it. But I think 335, is a very attainable type of max I had in the past. And considering 315 was so rough, and I honestly think that 315 was a little bit harder to lift at my current body weight than 335 was back when I was maybe 7 to 10 pounds lighter. So that's a little concerning, but I really haven't done anything heavy for months. So I think that's kind of the reason why. And I think I have been building muscle. So in terms of the muscle building exercise that I've been doing, I've kind of done a variety of incline and wide grip and just a variety of things. But the one that I've been doing most recently and for the longest period of time has been this kind of crazy, I can't even describe what it is, but I'm just going to say every aspect of it, and that's just what I've been focusing on. So first of all, it's reverse grip bench press. A lot of people say this is better on your shoulders. And while I don't have any shoulder pain necessarily, I have a lot of shoulder activation when I bench press. So I'm doing reverse grip. People also say that this activates the upper chest more so than the incline press. And so I was doing a lot of incline press, and I figured, hey, I'd rather just do the reverse grip if it's going to be easier on my shoulders, which is something that I value, both for my shoulder health, if that ever becomes a problem, and just for the dominance that my shoulders tend to have on my bench press. So I'm doing that. And then I'm doing fat grips because I really think that helps like your forearms and stuff like that get more involved, and increases activation in certain things that you're maybe not working on when you're doing a really heavy set. Maybe you're not super focused on stabilizing muscles, but and I don't really like doing dumbbell bench press, so I think this is something that can kind of help me in areas that I don't really get any work on normally. So I'm doing fat grips there. Feet up in the air. You guys probably know how I feel about this if you've watched my previous videos. I had a lot of success doing feet up in the air. I've become really comfortable with it. I feel like I get better activation, so I'm doing that. And then I'm doing slow eccentric. So bringing the weight down for about a 3 count and then just kind of pushing it up. Sorry, this is my cat just jingling her bell there. Always likes to be, whenever I'm recording a video, just right up here making as much noise as possible, so try to ignore that. But and then I'm doing, obviously when I'm doing fat grip and reverse grip, it's a little bit uncomfortable to hold, so I'm not using as much weight, and I also am focusing more on hypertrophy, so I'm doing sets of 10. So my main focus in terms of like what I think my weak point in my bench press is, I think even though my triceps from a pure size perspective maybe aren't super big, I think my triceps kind of drive the weight more so than my chest does. In fact, I feel like I'm not very fast off the chest. I don't really have trouble locking out as much as I do just kind of getting a sticking point here. So I think my triceps are pretty good, as well as just generally, if I'm going to max out on a bench press, I tend to bring my grip in pretty close. I find that is best for absolute strength. So I think that kind of shows that my triceps are not, they may be lagging, but they're not as lagging compared to my chest activation. So I'm doing a little bit more wide grip when I'm doing my reverse grip, and just in general, I'm trying to do more wide grip because I've pretty much always done relatively close grip bench press, which is just my standard bench press grip. So I'm trying to widen my standard grip out a bit and just get better off the chest, more speed. And then if I can get that speed off the chest, that should allow my lockout to be just fine because I'll have the momentum going for me. So I'm doing 4 sets of 10 with the wide grip, and then I move it into a close grip, do the same thing. Now, the reverse grip bench press also is supposed to be a tricep stimulating exercise, so I understand that it's, kind of an imperfect move, but I do really like to kind of focus on one little thing at a time and not just do a million variations. Now, I'm really into doing a variety of variations over time, but just doing like 7 exercises or 7 variations in one workout is just impossible. And for me, I really like to focus on one thing. So the main thing I'm focusing on is that reverse grip bench press. And then every once in a while, I'm going to throw in, heavy triples, heavy singles, heavy doubles, now that I have enough weight to do so. But again, primarily I'm just going to be focusing on hypertrophy, and I think those heavy sets may aid in that, but primarily they're just kind of there to keep my strength kind of up. And then once I start cutting again, I'm going to start doing, again, isometric speed work and stuff like that to focus on my strength. But for now, it's just pretty much purely about hypertrophy, and that is hopefully where the excess calories are going, although I've kind of have been struggling to gain weight recently. But over time, I have been gaining weight slowly but surely, so I'm cool with that. I just need to up my calories a little bit more. And so that's going to be my main goal, is just continue to train the way I have been, but then upping my calories significantly. So that's all I got to say, and keep you guys updated.